Welcome to the Home Loan Hub, your ultimate guide to mastering the world of home loans and property. I'm Zibuni Salimova, here to simplify the complexities of real estate and provide you with expert insights and the latest trends. Whether you're a first home buyer, an experienced investor, or simply curious about the property market, this podcast is for you. Join me each week as we unlock the secrets to property success and help you make informed decisions. Let's dive into the world of property together. Hello, Ben!
Hello, Zibaniso. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. How are you, my friend?
I'm great.
It's been a while.
It has.
How are you feeling?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, very good.
Thank you so much for coming along. When I thought about people I want to have on this podcast, the reason for this podcast is to share the message of hope, right? Yep. And when I think of hope and when I think of determination, you always come to my mind.
Oh, thank you.
You were just an amazing client, and over time, we've become more than, I think, client-broker relationship. But you're always at the back of my head, and I think we made some interesting things happen in your life, and this is why you're here today.
Very much so, yes.
So I want you to share your story as much as you like
Yep.
with our listeners today about your journey into the home ownership.
Okay.
Take it away.
From the very beginning?
From the very beginning. Once upon a time.
So when I was born, so back in 2015, I had the decision whether to buy a house or buy a business. And obviously hindsight is a wonderful thing because the house would have been the smarter option as far as return on investment. But I went down the business line. So I spent the little money that I had saved up, poured that into a business. And then as time's gone on, I've saved up some more money, got to a point where I thought a house was possible for my future with KiwiSaver in there as well, and went to probably 3 or 4 different mortgage brokers, and they all just went, let's see your business profit and loss, let's see this, jump through more hoops than just the average person on wages, and they all came back and said, no, this is as much as we can lend you, which wouldn't have even got me like a garage in Pram, let alone a house. So I sort of gave up, and my now wife actually gave me your name. And I said, can't be bothered with this. It's just going to be another no. And she goes, look, just one more try. So you were our last try.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought you went to maybe one person before me, but I didn't know that I was actually your last try.
Yeah, we had a few because I hadn't even heard of you yet. And
it was just in the beginning of my career at that point as well. I think I just got my business. And I was just starting out.
Yeah, so it was perfect timing. Thank you for coming along when you did, because, I had really given up, and I was sort of like, do we just sell the business and then go over to Australia like everybody else? Or do we keep trying? And so I gave you a try, and straight away you were like, yeah, easy. We can get you this, or if you can just save up just a little bit longer, we can get you this. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually a reality now. So I went from no hope at all to having a house, really, getting beaten down by everybody else, and then come to you and full of hope again. And you got us across the line for our house that we're in now. It's a little glorified batch in Te Horo. So very happy there.
Yeah. What are your future plans?
So kitting it out at the moment with nice spa pool in the backyard. So we're talking over the weekend about it, saying how nice it would be as an Airbnb. So depending on where we're going to be in the future, we want to upgrade, for kids coming along. It's going to be it's a small house now, but it's going to be even smaller with a couple of little ones there. So we want to upgrade, but we're either going to sell that to buy the new place, or hopefully have enough money and capital to buy a new place and then rent that one out.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? When you get into the property market, when you do that, when you take that first step, at least you're in. The first step is the hardest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be your forever home.
No, and that's what I made sure of. I was very realistic, Obviously still looking at the $2 million houses and dreaming of what if I won lotto or came across all this money, but realistically going, all right, this is affordable. And if interest rates go up by a few percent, I'm not going to be going into forfeit or anything like that.
And I think, and that's the conversation we had with you at that point, wasn't it? That be realistic, buy what you can afford. And then from there, a few years later down the track, we will reassess again and see what else you can get in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because you can buy another property based on the equity of this one. Or as you say, at least if you sell. And if you sell right now in the market that we're in, it's an interesting time. If you buy and sell really quick, then you should be able to get that better property for not as much.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it, you're always buying and selling in the same market. So even if your property goes up by, even $1 million, you're still, the next house you buy is going to be $1 million more, most likely too. But obviously the interest in your mortgage is not going to be that $1 million extra. So that's when it works out. Yeah,
but it would have been much harder if you waited all this time.
Oh, absolutely. I hate looking at my mortgage as it is when you're paying, $1,200 a fortnight and then only seeing maybe $150 come off of the mortgage. But I can only imagine what people with $1 million mortgage must be feeling.
Yeah, especially when they bought it in COVID times.
Yeah.
When things went a little bit too crazy.
Well, that's when I did buy, if you remember.
I was just trying to remember. I think it was right before it hit the craziness.
So you got us across the line. We were just waiting on the bank to confirm and say everything. And then I got the phone call from, I can't remember if it was you or the bank, about an hour after Jacinda announced we were going into lockdown.
Yeah, I remember it was like right around that crazy, crazy time. But then shortly after, that's when the properties catapulted.
Yeah, so we were stoked that we were locked in. The guy we were buying off, because it was a private sale, he wasn't as stoked that the prices had skyrocketed after we were locked in there.
Because I think you made like 100K on a property within a year.
Yeah.
Because the prices just went.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't have bought this for this much money.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we talked about that as well, that you wouldn't. Yeah, because I remember I was pregnant at the time and we went into lockdown and I was craving the donuts with cream.
Yep.
And you came to my rescue. I remember messaging you going, Ben, can you do a drop-off? So that was a really good client to have.
Yeah, those were interesting times, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you pivoted, right? With your business, you had to pivot really fast.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that journey as well, on how, what did you do with your business?
Yep, so for the original lockdown, the first one, we were just like everybody else, stuck at home. Unfortunately, because of the lockdown, we couldn't move into the new house, so we were just in our little granny flat that we were staying in, so it was quite difficult, but because of that, we knew we were going to last as a couple, not a house not much bigger than this room we're in now. So that was a good test for us. And then it gave me time to sort of work on the business, which I hadn't been able to do up until that point because I was just busy with work. And then we came out of the level 4 lockdowns with all the restrictions. So we were allowed to open, but not as we knew or had been the whole time. So it was contactless deliveries.
Yeah.
So I turned into a baker/courier driver, which was good fun because I'd always said if I gave up on baking, maybe courier driving could be an option.
So it was a good test run.
I think I lasted half a day before I was like, bugger this. Hats off to couriers.
So courier driving is not on the option.
People are really bad drivers. And when you're just driving from point A to point B, you sort of get a little bit frustrated. But when you're doing, I think at the most deliveries we had in a day was like 180. And I was the one doing all of the deliveries. So it got to the point where I think delivery 89 or something, someone would pull out in front of you. And you just couldn't be like, oh, that's fine. And I'm a pretty calm person most of the time. And so for me to really get going takes a lot. And I was like, oh, I'm only a day or two into this. And I'm already getting this frustrated. I could not do this for a living.
Yeah. And I mean, the roads were probably clear as well, not as busy.
You'd be surprised. They were pretty clear and busy, but, I think all the idiots still just went out and did their normal thing because it was just as much road rage as normal, except more stressed out and I was on the road more.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of your business, where do you see yourself going? Because obviously it may not be sustainable being a baker full-time. And what hours do you do? I remember you do crazy hours. Do you want to share that?
So usually starting around midnight, 1 a.m. and going through till a good normal days about 8 or 9 a.m. This week I've had staff away, so I've been covering some of the shifts. So I've been doing midnight till about 1 or 2 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, and then deliveries after that for our wholesale clients. So it's pretty crazy hours, but when it's all going good, I get to start at midnight, finish at 8, get around to golfing. If it's sunny, go for a swim at the river or go see friends for lunch. And then go to sleep, obviously, very early, but it's worth it in my books.
But that won't be sustainable once you guys have kids, right? So what's your big picture? Or do you think it will be fine?
So the reason I got into baking, and I like to share this story because it was just my aha moment of I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I knew what I wanted to do. My first job was at New World, just helping out in the bakery. Had no intentions of being a baker. It just happened to work that way. And the guy I worked with there, I'd turn up at 6 a.m. He'd been there since 2 or 3 a.m. And every morning it would be, "Good morning, Ben. How are you?" All happy. And I've never seen anyone in a workplace that happy. And I just didn't understand it. So I asked him one morning, I said, "Why are you so happy?" He goes, "Mate, I get to come in, make beautiful food. I'm not surrounded by people that annoy me all the time. And then once I finish work, I get to go home, have a little sleep, pick my kids up from school, and I get to spend the afternoon with them and do all that sort of thing." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a good life."
Okay. Actually, yeah, you just opened my eyes to that whole dynamic. So maybe, it does work that way.
Yeah, and the hours I start and do, and with it being, my own business, I can sort of work it most of the time so that it works in my favour. So the plan is I should be able to go to work, get home, drop the kids off at school, go out for a round of golf or go have a sleep, go pick the kids up after school, take them to sports practice, do whatever.
I love how golf is like predominant thing in your life. You keep mentioning golf.
Yes.
Is it because we're sitting here and the golf is right?
Yeah. And it's been a couple of days, so I'm getting the withdrawals, No, that golf's my time. The phone goes off. I'm not thinking about the business at all. We're coming up 10 years for the bakery, so it's been a massive...
Has it been 10 years?
Yeah.
Almost.
And end of January, 10 years.
Wow.
So that's been a big part of my life. So just to be able to switch off from it and just focus on just being out in the sun with good mates and having a good time.
Yeah.
Most of the time when the golf's going good.
Oh, I thought you meant most of the good friends. Sometimes they're not good friends.
Yeah, sometimes not.
No, that's awesome. Actually, you just reminded me of a story. So do you want to tell me the story when you went playing golf with someone recently and they lost you a bet?
Yes. So one of my mates that I play golf with, he got offered a really good opportunity to buy some property and went through a few mortgage brokers, and every week, like, "Oh, how'd that go?" "Nah, it didn't work." See Zebaniso, she'll sort you out. "No, I'll try this other mortgage broker." And that kept it going on loop for a while until we're having beers one time after golf. And said, "Oh, how's it all going?" He goes, "Oh, I give up. There's no point. No one's going to sign us off on this." And I said, "Just try Zebaniso." "Nah, no point." Just dead against it. And I said, "Right, $500 if she says no and can't get you across the line. But if she can, you owe me $2,000. So in his head, he's going, "Oh, well, I'm going to make an easy $500 because I'm not going to get across the line." And I'm going, "Yes, I've just made $2,000 because I know how much of a weapon you are." And you'll see a challenge and go, "Right, this is me." So I was very happy with that. And it's a good example to anyone else that I send your way when they go, "Oh, no." And I go, "Oh, do you want to bet then?"
So did you actually make $2,000?
I could. He offered me $2,000, or he provides a few services that will really help the business. And so he offered $2,000. Well, probably ended up being a lot more than $2,000 worth of services for that.
Okay, so he lost.
Yes.
He lost.
Yes.
It was really interesting, when he came to me and he said, "Look, Ben told me to get in touch with you. We've been to a few people. They said no. You're probably going to say no." When I met with them, within 10 minutes, I had a solution.
Yeah.
And I remember them looking at each other going, "She just gave us a solution that we've been asking other brokers to look at, and nobody did." And to me, again, I don't think I do anything special. Let's put it that way. I don't think I'm anything special. I'm just an ordinary human, go around my day trying to do my best. And moments like this remind me that when you try to do just a little bit extra for people, it's amazing how much difference it makes.
Absolutely. And I think with you, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people just get complacent and go, "Right, this is easy. If I get this come through, I say yes. If it comes through and it's not above this line, I say no." Whereas you go, "Well, there's a little bit of wiggle room there. Actually, we probably could get this through the line if this person just does this." And so just taking that one extra step, and so a lot of people it would seem like nothing, but to your clients, I know for sure, being one of them, that one extra step is literally life-changing.
Thank you. You just, honestly, I feel very emotional right now because It's been a while since, we've talked, we've dealt in the professional matter, and to hear that still coming through 4 years later, and to feel the genuine feelings that you've got coming out of you, it's just reminds me of why I do my job, why every day I wake up, because our job is stressful. Like, don't get me wrong, there's things constantly going, people, about to lose a deal or something's happening and you need to jump on it really fast. So hearing this and I never hear this back from people, right? Going, oh, thank you so much. It's just sort of, they get the keys, they're like, yep, sweet, thank you, see ya.
Yeah.
And I don't see them for another year or two until the refix comes up. But to actually sit down and talk to people openly about how they feel and how it went for them, and to see the other side, it makes me happy.
Oh, I bet, yeah. That's what gets me, like, I just can't let someone do me such a huge favour and impact my life so much and have them not know that that's what's happened. Because, as I said, like, you don't even think about, well, as you said, you don't even think about the extra steps you go through. It's just what you do. But people need to tell you, like, that's what makes the difference. That is life-changing for so many people.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ben.
And then what I just picked up on before, though, is so many people use you for your services and then go, oh, thanks, we'll get in touch in 3 years or 5 years when we refix. But I get all of my insurance, as soon as any insurance or anything like that comes through, I'm straight. First thought is, all right, I guarantee you Zebaniso can know someone that can beat this, or the circle you've built up. Like, you're not just mortgage, you can give so much advice and help in the whole aspect of things.
And I'm free.
And you're free, exactly. You don't cost any money.
I don't even cost any money. I don't cost any money. I just ask for buns.
Yeah. Well, I can do those. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a small price to pay.
So tell me the story behind Ben's Buns. Why did you call it Ben's Buns, apart from it ringing a nice bell?
So I was 15 when I decided I wanted to be a baker, immature. And that was the first name I came up with. And it sort of just stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your bakery famous for?
Our Chelsea and raspberry buns are a massive hit. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, I would have called it something pies, because our pies have gone from selling maybe 30 a day tops to about 150 to 200 a day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pies.
Yeah. So pies are probably the main thing as far as the general customer is concerned. Mm-hmm. And then wholesale to cafes and restaurants, we do a lot of buns and loaves.
Ah, so you bake your own bread as well, right?
Yep, everything's all baked from scratch.
How many bakers do you have?
Just me and one other at the moment. We had an apprentice who had a few health issues, like the gluten was affecting her skin, so she left, which was perfect timing because, as everybody knows, it's not exactly the climate to be making money at the moment. Yeah. So all of our prices have just skyrocketed, so it worked out well. I didn't have to get rid of anyone. I didn't have to reduce any hours. It just smoothed out perfectly, and now doesn't look like it outside, but we're in the summer months now, so with sunshine and the heat, a lot more people come down to the beach, which means more people through the door, more money to spend on things in the bakery.
Well, I'll give you some free promotion here, Ben. So do you want to tell people where to find you? Because you mentioned the beach, we mentioned the name, but where do people actually find you, socials, etc.?
So we are located on McLean Street, 3A McLean Street, Parapara Beach. You can find us down there 7 days a week. Pretty much if you see the lights on, if the door's not open, just knock on the window and we'll sort you out. Otherwise, you can find us on Facebook at Ben's Buns NZ, Instagram Ben's Buns NZ. We've got a TikTok with 4 TikToks on it. Eventually, I'll get around to that. Definitely, TikTok's made me feel like I'm in my 30s.
Yep, same. Yeah. I struggle daily. I have to force myself to go on TikTok.
Yeah, well, I'm bad with the Facebook and Instagram side of things as well. I'm just really bad at sharing our stuff. Like, we just did 2,000 buns for the Kapiti half marathon, which was our own little marathon in there. There was 5 hours of baking buns and then 4 hours of icing buns. And it wasn't until we iced the last bun where I thought, we should have set up a camera in here and time-lapsed all this.
Yeah.
But
that would have been a cool video.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to ask you next is a couple of questions I've been asking people as they come on this, just to make it a bit of a regular thing. But you did mention through our conversation. So we're just going to wrap it up and I'm going to throw them back at you. What gets you out of bed apart from the buns?
My alarm clock. What gets me out of bed? Just the joy to be alive and fit and, well, not fit, but, fitter than someone that can't get out of bed, and reasonably healthy. Getting to see the sunshine. Like, the best part about being a baker is you get to watch sunrise every morning. Yeah. Wintertime, you get to watch sunset. I'm asleep in the summertime before the sun sets. But yeah, just life. It's good.
What keeps you positive?
Positive.
Despite everything that's been hard this year, especially?
There's just... what keeps me positive?
Golf.
No, ask anyone I play golf with. 9 times out of 10, that does not end up positive at the end. The beers afterwards do. I know that everything's going to work out. You just got to have faith that everything's going to work out. I'm not religious or anything, but I just know that if you keep working hard and you're doing the right things and not doing bad things or bad to people, then everything will work out.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yesterday I just heard this phrase of be kind, right? If you've got nothing to give to someone, you've got kindness to give.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't have to be a material thing, but leave every person that you've met better than when you found them.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And that's, when people say, I can't do anything for anyone. It's like, yeah, you can. All you got to do is say hello to them. Spark a conversation with someone. That could be the thing that makes their day. Yeah. Someone sitting at a bus stop, all you need to say is hi, and that could be the highlight of their day. You just don't know what other people are going through.
I think these days we live in such a materialistic world that people put too much pressure on material things. And when they say, I can't do something for someone, they're thinking probably, I can't buy them wine or flowers or
take them out
for dinner. Yeah. But actually, just as you say, just say hello. Yeah. Be a nice human. Yeah. Doesn't cost much.
No. And it doesn't happen enough in this world, unfortunately.
What's your favorite beverage?
It's any cold beer. Any cold beer or most whiskies and bourbons.
Okay. What's your current, the most special pie that you've created for your bakery? Is there one that you've created out of your own head?
So we've got just our normal standard range, and then all of our specialty pies. It's all just, you say head, it's all from the belly.
They say never trust a skinny baker.
Exactly. So that's why I've never lost my belly. Yeah.
So keep it.
Probably it's our creamy mushroom pie. So we've got 4 different variations of that now. We've got our vegetarian one, which is creamy mushrooms and caramelized onion. And then I added some diced kranksky to that, so creamy mushroom and kranksky pie, because it needs meat, in my opinion. And then our steak and mushroom is the same garlic creamy mushroom on top of that. And then we now have a chicken and mushroom one, which is that creamy mushroom, but with spiced chicken thigh mixed through that. So I think it might not be the best, but it's definitely the most universal, and it gets the biggest tick from all of our customers.
Because, I remember you had a kranksky pie.
Yes, that's the creamy mushroom.
Is it the creamy mushroom? Yeah. I'm sure there was another separate one that you did.
We have a kranksky just rolled in pastry.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one I love. Because your bakery is my go-to usually on Saturdays with the kids. Yep. So when I go to the market, that's my go-to, get the food. It's funny because there's like a market full of food. Yeah. And the kids go, no, we're going to go to that bakery. That's our go-to. But every time I go, you're not there, I guess, because you sleep.
On the Saturdays up until recently, where I've brought some new equipment and figured out some better ways at producing stuff a lot faster. I had been starting at about 9 p.m. on the Friday night and then going through to about 8 or 9 a.m. But normally if you see me at the bakery after about 8 or 9 a.m., it's because something hasn't gone right. Whether that be someone's away or we've stuffed up a batch of something and had to redo it. I call them vampire hours. I go in when the sun sets and I'm gone by the time it rises.
Okay. Otherwise you shine. Glow.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Ben, thank you so much for coming along. It was an absolute pleasure to have you today and share just a glimpse of the journey that you had and the hope. And I hope listeners today took away some key.
Well, if they take away anything, it's that Zebaniso is your person for mortgages to sort it out.
Thank you.
And if you're thinking about it and you go, oh, maybe I should contact Zebaniso, just do it, because if you're not ready, she'll find a way for you to be ready.
That just turned into promotion for me. So thank you. Thank you, Ben. Absolutely appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you'll get some better weather for golf.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm off to sleep now. So.
Thank you for staying awake. Thank you for tuning into the Home Loan Hub. I hope you found today's episode insightful and full of valuable tips to help you on the property journey. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all things real estate and the property ladder. If you enjoyed the show, leave a review and share it with others who might benefit as well. Keep an eye out for the next episode where we'll continue to reveal strategies for property success. Until then, keep making savvy decisions and unlocking your property potential.